Hi, I'm Elinor Silverstein. Welcome to the Feldenkrais Guild of North America Conference Series. The theme this year is breath. The conference will run live on September 6th, the 27th, and October 18th, 2024. Today, I'm here with Carol Lessinger, and the title of her workshop is Breathing Through Your Diagonals. Carol, tell us about your workshop, please.
I'm delighted to see you. So your diagonals, what does that mean? So if you are watching this, so just run a line with your hand from one shoulder down to the opposite hip. That's where your pants or skirt is creased on the seat that you're sitting on if you're sitting. And that's what I mean by a diagonal. And you could do the other side just because it's fun. And that's a really important functional line for moving and walking. So we'll do 2 awareness through movement lessons in my workshop that will involve the diagonal and then breathing in different ways as you're holding an intention for that diagonal. I've always called the breath the highway of consciousness. Where we put our attention to our breathing, our consciousness goes. And so you can intend to breathe to a hip joint, even though there's no lung there. Why don't you just try it right now? Have a sense that your breath is coming in through your mouth or nose, down your throat, and heading down to one sit bone or hip joint. And you might notice that something lights up for you there when you send your breath, even though air goes into your lungs and not down there. So let's try something on our diagonals. Take one shoulder, doesn't matter which one, and bring it backward a little. And then undo it. Do it a few times so you get the feeling of that when I'm doing this shoulder, when I bring it backward, I get more space through here. And then let that rest. Feel the thigh, the back of the thigh that's sitting on your chair. I'm assuming you're sitting. That's opposite to the shoulder that you just used. And have the intention to draw that thigh backwards, which will bring your pelvis on that side a little bit into a rotational position, a little bit behind its other side. Okay, one shoulder to opposite hip joint. Bring both of them back. And then you could draw that line again and feel, oh my goodness, it's maybe longer. And then breathe down towards that hip joint. A few breaths and see, well, can you reach it or not? And then let it all go. Take a rest. Don't smile though. No, no smile. Oh, you just smiled. Wait a minute. Okay. And then let's do it again. Take the same shoulder and hip backwards and breathe to the upper portion. Now there is a lung there. That might be a little easier. And so you send your attention and your breath as though it's coming down through your throat and moving, in this case, it's for me over here. Yeah, and then let that go. And there's something I like to do in between these intentional breaths, in the rests. And I learned it from Gabi Yaron, who was one of the first Israeli teachers that Moshe Feldenkrais taught. And in the 80s, she came, God bless her, she came to Arizona and taught advanced training workshops to us few people who were in the region. And she had just had, unfortunately, an automobile accident and had broken several ribs. And she talked about her recovery in the hospital because mostly all she could do was just breathe. And one of the breaths she used, like as a cleansing breath between her sending breath to the broken ribs, a breath that went straight down the midline. So your midline, straight where your spine is, straight down through your throat, down to your pelvic floor. Just take a breath that goes as far down as you can send it. And then let that go. Try it a couple of times. Oh, yeah. How far can you send it? Does it reach the pelvic floor? Does it not? Okay, we've had a little break. Let's go back to the shoulder and the hip. Can you send a breath to both? Now that's a tough one. That really is. So let's see if during the conference we can enlarge our capacity to connect the dots from one place to another. And that to me is part of the beauty of the Feldenkrais method, that we can expand our awareness to include so much more of ourselves, and that increases our ability to function well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, dear Carol. It is always a pleasure after all these years to attend your workshops. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elinor.
Mhm.
Well, let's have a wonderful, wonderful conference this year. We hope to see you there. Not Eleanor. Eleanor will be there for sure, but you. Yes.
Show up, be there, breathe. Thank you, Carol. See you soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye.